What's up, internets? It's DSP here. We got a lot to talk about. I'm going to move fast, so please stay with me. I apologize. First of all, I just want to say thank you to everyone who watched the entire Mass Effect 2 playthrough. It's now finally complete. I apologize it took so long because, as I said, I've basically been uploading that footage straight from when the game came out on Tuesday. It just takes YouTube so long to convert that footage and to actually get it up on the internet. That's what took so long. It finished this afternoon, so it's finally out of the way. A lot of people are saying, what are you doing next? When are you playing MAG? Well, I've decided not to play MAG. We're going to play Mass Effect 2 again, Renegade playthrough. I'm just kidding. We're actually going to do what I said I'm going to do. I'm going to play some MAG this week. Might not necessarily be tonight. It's actually already getting a little bit late here. And I'm a little bit busy, as you can see. So I might not be playing it tonight, but I will definitely be playing MAG over the course of this week. Meaning, during this week you'll see some footage, of the gameplay. I'll give my honest feedback like I always do. I'll tell you if I think it's better than Modern Warfare 2 or not, which will be an interesting comparison. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, there are no game bugs or people fucking abusing the game after it only being out for less than a week. So we'll see there what happens. But yeah, I will be playing MAG, and then after that, the schedule as it goes, I believe next week is BioShock 2, so I'll be playing that on Tuesday, starting with the campaign, getting as far as I can until I beat it, and then jumping over to the multiplayer. I believe the week after that might be Alien vs. Predator, so I'll probably be trying that out, and that seems like it's going to have 3 campaign playthroughs for each class. I'm probably going to skip Dante's Inferno officially now because it is confirmed there's an entire chapter with a shitload of nudity, and as you know I have all kinds of problems with YouTube already with nudity, so that's not worth it. But besides that, I think there's a game pretty much every week now, and I think it's like Alien vs. Predator. There's definitely one that next week. Heavy Rain. Heavy Rain is the week after that, and then the week after that I believe is Bad Company 2, which I think is going to be a really good game, and then the week after that is Final Fantasy 13, which could be a giant hit or miss. Who knows if that's going to be any good or not. It might not even, really translate well to Western audiences. I definitely know Bayonetta didn't with its story, so let's see what happens with that. That'll be interesting to see. Will that be my longest playthrough ever? I don't know. Mass Effect 2 was 175 parts, and all I basically did was the main storyline so that I could get the best ending. I didn't do any really of the periphery side missions that I didn't just come across while I was doing the main story. So who knows how many parts that game could really have been if I had jumped out. I don't know if Final Fantasy 13 is going to be more based off of side missions or if you're just going to be able to streamline right through the game. So that's the schedule coming up. So now there's my oven telling me that it's the right temperature. Now let's address the elephant in the room. I mean, obviously, here you go. I've gotten my first, well, my demo products from cafepress.com. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I recently was contacted by cafepress.com. They set up a totally free website for me. They allowed me to put up unlimited designs of merchandise because they thought that, my channel was so popular and that people had been asking for merchandise, which they actually have been, that it would be a cool thing to set up. So this is the first demo, and as you can see, it's pretty cool. The first thing I want to say about this shirt is I was surprised because I've ordered custom shirts before, and instead of getting, a good logo, you get like this glossy kind of, almost like a plastic that they kind of iron on the fucking shirt, and it's horrible. I've had shirts where I've washed them twice and the thing came off. I actually had a really nice shirt of a custom Decepticons logo with all, I think it had like, Megatron in the background. It looked really nice. Wore the thing a couple times, thing fell apart. Piece of shit. This is what you're supposed to do with a custom shirt. As you can see, the ink is actually on or in the fabric. It's not an iron-on, and as long as you wash it the right way, basically this will stay on there forever, which is cool. I really like that they did that, and as you see, this is the dark hat. What they've done is they put a patch on it with my darksydephil logo. Now keep in mind, you don't only have to get a dark hat like this. There's also a white hat and a beige hat, and for those you don't have a patch. It actually just prints the logo right across the front because it has a lighter background. It'll look good on those hats. Obviously this logo on here with black in the background, you wouldn't be able to see half of it, so that's why they have this patch there. But I think it's pretty damn cool, this merch, and to be honest, I'm probably going to end up buying some more stuff. I actually wanted a clock for my wall, and speaking of that, there's all kinds of stuff. Stickers, postcards, magnets. My mom, I think, bought an apron for the kitchen over the weekend, so check it out. There's a lot of new stuff up, and I also put up designs not only for men, but also for women, because there were actually a couple comments on that last video that I made about the store saying, hey, Phil, I went on there, it's nice that you have all guys stuff, but what about us, ladies? You might want a shirt or two, and I don't want a men's style shirt. I want something that's going to, fit nicely on me, so there's all kinds of stuff, including women's products. Thank you again, Dan, for setting that up, and thank you for the free stuff. This is awesome. I really do like this merch. You know, I said I was going to be on here and be honest about it. If it sucked, I was going to say it. I like this. You know, if this was just one of those shitty prints, I would have said it. But this is a nice quality shirt, and I can tell that, you know, after repeated washing, this is still going to be good. And by the way, this is the ringer style shirt. The ringer style shirt basically has, you know, this borders around the edges, so it's pretty cool. And check it out. If you know, again, cafepress.com/darksydephil. There's a link on my page. Go check it out if you're interested. That's it. It's all I'm going to talk about merch, I swear, for this video anyway. Two more things I want to touch upon. Both are Street Fighter related. The first is that, yes, finally Capcom has announced the official release date in the United States for Super Street Fighter 4. It's April 27th, which is a Tuesday. And just like I said I was going to do, I'm going to have a big launch event here. I'm going to have my friends over, you know, people who you've seen me play the game with before, to play through the game. And number one, we're going to be testing out new characters. Number two, we're going to be trying out the older characters to see what's changed about them, test out these new ultras and all these things that have been added. I think it'll be exciting, and I'm going to at least have them over here for one day, if not longer. So what you're going to see that day is continuous footage of all the stuff on YouTube. And it's really going to be probably the only place on the internet you're going to be able to find launch day footage of that game from people who are actually good at it, meaning people who know what they're doing and are going to be able to discover new combos and new techniques. I'm sure everyone on the planet is going to be playing it. That doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be uncovering the cool top level stuff that we'll probably be doing. So check that out definitely. And the other thing that I wanted to say was that some exciting news coming out of Japan. Super Battle Opera, which is pretty much one of the most prestigious tournaments in the world for fighting games, and it's an invitational that actually invites teams from other countries, not just Japan, to come and participate, has announced that they're going to have Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo again this year in their competition. And the reason I'm excited about this is because there's a very strong chance that they're going to give the United States some teams, as they've done over the past couple of times that they've had this game, because they feel the United States has worthy enough players to at least enter into this tournament. Chances are, however, that there's going to be a lot of competition. It's a 3-on-3 tournament, meaning I'll need to have a team of 3 people to enter. I've already been contacted by John Rambo. He's very interested in playing in this. We actually entered the same qualifier that was a 2-on-2 qualifier 2 years ago. It was held at Midwest Championships, which you've probably seen videos of on my YouTube page already. The problem with that one was it was held on American-style controls. And I'm going to confess, I'm god-awful on American-style controls. For the past couple of years, I've been playing exclusively on the Japanese-style controllers, and I can't play on American anymore. I just suck. And so I was horrible in that tournament. I admit it openly. I sucked. I wasn't blocking. I was missing shit. It was horrible. And I'm hoping that at least there can be some kind of a compromise found this year, that if we are granted spots, that we can play on Japanese-style controls. I don't know if it's going to happen. It hasn't happened yet, but hopefully there can be a compromise. But anyway, I'm excited. The big issue right now for debate, though, is going to be who's going to get spots. Is it going to be just one qualifier? Because if there's only one qualifier in the United States, chances are it's going to be held in California on the West Coast, in which case it's going to be a superb amount of competition. That's where the best players in the country in Super Turbo live, that area of the country, and so it's going to be like highly contested. Now, if they have other qualifiers, like if they have one in California, one at Midwest, or one on the East Coast, that's different. That'll be a lot easier to enter and probably be able to jump in and at least, if not win it, get a top ranking. So we'll see what happens. I'm not necessarily saying that if they don't have one on the East Coast or at Midwest Championships this year that I still won't enter. I am still interested, but it's a lot of investment of time and money, especially considering if I have to travel to California, and then if I qualify, now I have to pay to travel to Japan. It's like, geez, that's a lot of traveling for 1 year. That's a lot of money out of my own pocket. Previously, there has been sponsorship deals where people got sponsorship to go on these trips. However, the past couple of years, the money is pretty much dried out, and the people who had won at Midwest Championships 2 years ago ended up only getting a very small amount of money from the pot, and I think there were a couple donations from West Coast players, but it wasn't really that much. They really had to kind of do it out of pocket, so it kind of sucked. So we'll see what happens, but I just wanted to throw that out there. I know a lot of people know that Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo is the game I'm the best at. Out of all the Street Fighter games, it's my favorite Street Fighter game personally, and I've been out of practice, for a couple of years. I've been kind of messing around with HD Remix since it came out, and then with Street Fighter 4. So maybe if I actually sit down and focus again and start practicing the game, I'll get good at it again. Who knows? I mean, I still think I'm good at it. I just don't think I'm anywhere close to where I used to be when I was actively playing it, like back in 2007 when I traveled everywhere that year and played in every qualifier. I think that was probably the best I've ever been, but it's been a while since I've been there. So we'll see what happens. That's pretty much what's going on with me. Looking forward to playing these new games coming up during the next couple of weeks. And I hope I answered a lot of questions with this video. So this is DSP. Thanks a lot again for the support as always, and I'll talk to you later.